Alrighty, so bear with me, I have my laser running in the background, but hopefully this video will help you out. So I know you mentioned you're stuck on removing the background and what we need to adjust on the image. So there's a couple different methods that you can do, of course. I'm going to show you the one using the software that I worked on with you. So first thing I am going to direct you to is this right here, Adobe Firefly. It used to be Adobe Express. I will give you the link for this, but it is a free background remover. I really like this because it is good for pretty much many different type of file types, large types of files, and it does a transparent background, which is very important for what we do. So first thing we're going to do is just go to upload your photo right here. And I've got some photos that I'm going to pull. Here we go. And it's going to go ahead and get this processed for us. It doesn't take too terribly long, and it does simplify the process that we would typically use. So we're going to go ahead and let that load. And as you can see, it did a pretty good job. Now, the only issue that I sometimes have is hair, but you can even see it did a really great job with even the flyaways. So this is a really good starting point. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just hit download, and that's going to allow me to put that onto the computer. There you go. All right, so again, that's your first step. Use that as your background removing. So now the next thing we want to do is get this image prepped in Corel Photopaint. So we're going to go ahead and minimize Corel Photopaint. And I might be a little bit slower just because my arm is in a sling, so I'm using my other arm right now. All right, so from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is, of course, name our document. We're going to just follow this one. And then background color. So for you, you're going to be working on wood. So wood, we do not want a black background. We want a white background. So I'm going to click on this guy here. Click on white, and we do want to make sure that we're using white, not any percent of black. That way we don't have anything in the background engraved. So it's to be kind of like a placeholder, not an actual feature to engrave. All right, of course, dimensions, I'm going to recommend for you, don't do the dimensions of your cutting board, but do the dimensions of how big you want your image to be. So just think about how big your cutting board is, of course, just for relativity, but